Hi, boys and girls. It's me, Cherice. I will be reading to you today Back Home by Gloria Jean Pinkney, and the pictures are by Jerry Pinkney. Surprise! We're reading together. Okay. Ernestine, I'm going to read it then show the pictures. Ernestine recognized Uncle June Avery right away. She remembered Mama saying, he'll probably bring you flowers. He also had the same sparkling eyes and apple dumpling cheeks as Grandmama Zula in Mama's old photograph. He was waiting on the platform as the Silver Star slowly pulled into Robinson County Depot. When he caught a glimpse of Ernestine peering through the window, his face lit up in a broad smile. Ernestine smiled back. "Uncle June," she cried, waving to her great-uncle. Then she straightened her new organdy pinafore, grabbed her satchel, and hurried to the exit. Her legs felt wobbly from the long train ride south, but that didn't bother Ernestine Avery Powell. She was in Lumberton, North Carolina, the place where she was born, for the first time in her memory. "Hey, Ernestine," said Uncle June, lifting her satchel. "I knew right off it was you, I do declare," he exclaimed. "If you don't favor my oldest sister Zula when she was a girl." Ernestine felt warm inside. "I look like Grandmama," she thought. "I picked these here flowers for you," he said, "fresh this morning from my garden." "Thank you, Uncle June. It was real nice of you and Aunt Beulah to invite me." "Well," he said, "we think it's only fitting you get to know your kinfolk. Was the train ride to your liking?" "Oh, yes," Ernestine cried. Here's Ernestine and her pinafore. Uncle June with his freshly picked flowers. "Come on," said Uncle June. "My truck is right out front. Wait till your Aunt Beulah and Cousin Jack see you." "Why didn't Jack come with you?" asked Ernestine. "Well," said Uncle June, "Jack had his mind set on riding with me today, but his new kid was born just this morning. I know all about Jack and his goats. Aunt Beulah told us in her letters. I hope Jack will like me," she thought. Uncle June walked up to an old truck. Oh, Lizzie," Ernestine shouted, jumping up and down and dancing all around it. "Mama used to ride to the schoolhouse in the back of this pickup truck, didn't she, Uncle June?" "Every day," he replied. Ernestine's eyes lit up. "May I ride in the back too?" she asked. Uncle June laughed. "I think you'd best wait and change out of them fancy clothes first." She climbed right onto the front seat. "Is it a long ride to the farm, Uncle June?" "We're just a few miles down Sandy Bottom," he said, pulling onto the road. While they rode along, Ernestine studied the green countryside. "It's so quiet here," she said. "Not anything like the city." "I never did take to city life myself," Uncle June responded. "After your folks moved up north, we paid you all a visit. You and Jack were still babies then." He pulled into a long driveway and turned the engine off. Ernestine looked at the old wooden farmhouse and jumped down onto the soft ground, pulled off her shoes, and wiggled her toes in the warm North Carolina sand. "I'm here," she shouted happily. When Aunt Beulah saw Ernestine dressed in her fancy frock, carrying her flowers in one hand and shoes in the other, she laughed until the tears flowed. "Oh, how I wish your Grandmama Zula could see you today, Ernestine," said Aunt Beulah. Zula never did take to wearing those shoes. Come here, child, she said. Give your Aunt Beulah some sugar. Suddenly, Jack came running from the shed. Hey, Cousin Ernestine, he said, crinkling up his face. I was going to show you my new kid, but not in them fancy clothes. Ernestine felt disappointed. Mama made me lots of play clothes, Jack, she said. Ernestine can see that goat tomorrow, Aunt Beulah called out. You all come in now, supper's on. Later in the evening, Aunt Beulah helped Ernestine unpack and settle in Mama's old bedroom. You'd best turn in now, child. We rise early here on the farm. Good night, Ernestine said. She found Mama's old scrapbook in the bookcase and looked through it. I wish that old train didn't cost so much, she thought. Then Mama and Daddy could have come too. Just before going to bed, she tiptoed over to the window. The warm North Carolina night was filled with new sounds and new smells, and the sky was speckled with stars. When she found the North Star, she closed her eyes and made a wish. I wish that me and Jack will be friends, she whispered. And that's the end of chapter 1. Bye.